In this episode of Water Saving Tips, I'm going to show you how most toilets with tanks waste about a gallon of water with every flush, and that has nothing to do with the size of your tank. But don't worry, I figured out how to fix it quickly, easily, and inexpensively, and I'll walk you right through it. Is that it? Fixed all this time. It is! Do you mind? Okay, so right now we do have the piece on there that can constrict the amount of water that's coming through, but I have it opened up completely, so it's going to be acting like it's not there at all, like it's just an open tube. And so I want you to notice that the water level is just a little bit below that black line, and the water level in the bowl is just a little bit below that line as well. So we're going to flush it, and once the water line in here gets all the way up to where it's supposed to be, then I'm going to take this tube, which would continue going into the bowl, which would be going over the weir and just, going down the pipes. And we're going to see just how much water would be going down the pipes as the tank continues to fill, because that water is going to flow as long as the tank is filling. So we're going to flush it. Alright, the flapper's down, so the tank is beginning to fill. Maybe about a third of the way, and the toilet bowl itself is almost getting to that point. It's just about there. It's there now. Take this out. See, the tank itself is continuing to fill. There we are. So that's how much water would have just gone straight down the drain. Probably even just a little bit more, because I did wait a little bit before closing that. But see, you can barely see that black line, but the water line's exactly where it was before. It couldn't have gone any higher than that. The rest would have been going down the drain. This is your toilet before you flush. Pull down on the handle and the flapper goes up. The water from the tank floods into the bowl, which forces the water down the pipe. This creates a suction that pulls everything in the bowl down the pipe. Meanwhile, as long as the float is down, the water will continue filling the tank, and continue filling the bowl. This happens until the float is moved up by the water in the tank. The problem is that the bowl gets to its maximum fill point well before the tank does, so the water that continues to flow to the bowl runs right down the pipe. And this continues until the tank fills and all the water stops, resulting in a lot of wasted water. Alright, well, I'm going to modify my toilet a little bit today. I'm going to start by turning down the valve from the wall, make that a little bit less pressure. I have a tube here. I will only use it if this one isn't still flexible. And then I have a 1/4-inch barbed valve and a 1/4-inch double barbed T. Now these are both made for drip lines. I'm going to be using them for this specifically today, see how well it works. These were both very inexpensive, and you can go to your local hardware store, wherever it is that you have the drip supplies, and you can get those. So first I'm going to take this tube out. Alright, so I went ahead and I pulled this off of here because it didn't look like it was going to hold in the T-barb. So I'm going to go ahead and cut just a really small piece of this to come off of here. I'm going to put the T-barb on there,
pretty tight fit, which is good. I'm going to squeeze it over this. All right, nice and tight in there, good. Okay, cut off a pretty short piece to just go straight down from the barb. That way it'll be squirting directly into the tank. Give me another short piece here where I'm going to put the valve. I'm going to put the other part of the valve onto the T. Now I'm going to put the last part of the tube. Alright, instead of cutting down this tube more and using that piece that came with it, I am just going to go ahead and slide this down here, and I do it low enough to where it's well below where this needs to drop. And it really only needs to drop a really small amount. It's not until the water gets up really high here that it just needs to raise up this tiniest bit more to actually turn off the water, so this is perfect. Okay, now it's a pretty tight fit in my bathroom, so you're not really going to be able to see the bowl. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this up a little bit higher to where you can see the water squirting out of that, and I'm going to turn this, the part that will be going directly into the bowl, and I'll have that to where you can see it as well. I'm going to flush this. As you can see that's drizzling right there. And this one's going full bore, helping to fill that tank. Alright, well the bowl did fill a little bit faster than I would have liked, so I will be adjusting this down a little bit. So it'll take it from the low trickle that it just was to a very, very low trickle, where this was going full bore into the tank. So the tank was filling much, much more quickly than it would have, and the bowl is filling much, much more slowly. So as we're able to adjust that, it's going to get more and more water efficient, but it's already twice as water efficient as it ever was before. You should be able to get all the parts you need for about $5, and the 1/2-inch tubing seems to be about the most common across the board. However, some aftermarket parts that you put in your toilets actually take a larger tube. So in my next video, I'm going to go through ways that you're able to modify from that. I have plenty more tips to share, so if you'd like to get them, then go ahead and subscribe. And if you have any questions, ideas, or anything else you'd like to say, then go ahead and comment below.